Hey everyone, welcome back to the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. I would assume most, if not all of you watching this by now, have heard the news, read the news, watched the news that our man Sam Walsh has signed an extension, a 4-year extension, which will see him remain a Carlton player through to the end of season 2026. And gotta say, I think it was this morning as I saw the news, it was the first moment of season 2022 where I started getting really excited. And there's a number of reasons for that. So I thought I'd put something together and document it. Because I think also with certain milestones and certain players and their journeys, there are special ones that come along every so often. And I think Sam Walsh is one of them. The way he's carried himself and the way he's conducted himself as a Carlton person has been, nothing short of impressive and remarkable, really. And to see how quickly it's all flown by. We are already entering year 4 of the Sam Walsh experience. And I think first and foremost, I just wanted to congratulate him, his family, and I guess the hard work that's gone into getting where he is today. None of that happens without the support system behind him. So it's just a great moment for him and a well-deserved moment. And I think sometimes we can get caught up in what's wrong. And I think it's important to also document the moments that dictate what's right. And I think this is one of those. And one thing I've learned over the journey of watching the club is, your favourite players come and go really quickly. And you've got to enjoy the moments when you have them. So I'm super excited. I think the notion of what it does for the supporter base, I think is an important one. I don't think there was really ever any doubt that he would, stay. I know there was a bit of talk last week about the contract, and he addressed it in his press conference, and he said that it would take care of itself in its own time, and essentially it did. I also don't think anyone expected it to be revealed as quickly as what it did. And then what I think it does is it does a few things. Think about all the time and energy that would go into writing a story about, is Sam Walsh going to sign? Even though we generally know he was always going to stay for the most part. I think if we turn the clock back 12 months today, the situation was Patrick Cripps. There were a few things going on. To this day, I don't really know exactly what the delay was, but obviously with the COVID-affected year and family situations and whatever was going on outside of footy, it's all an important factor, and they are all important factors in making such a decision. Whereas this time around, it's done before round 1, and it's a sign of unity. And one of the first people I spoke to was Rocco, who obviously spoke really strongly last year about, leadership and showing leadership, sign the contract early, buy in and get it done. And I think that's what's happened here. And one thing I definitely must commend the men's program on for what I've seen so far this preseason. It's just been about the work. It hasn't been about telling us how good they're going to be and, the group's training really hard. It hasn't. It's just literally just been about the work. And when you look at, I'll read you the quotes from Sam Walsh pertaining to the announcement. So he says, "The decision could not have been easier for me. Our club has a clear direction, strong leadership. As a playing group, we know what we want to achieve, and I want to do everything I possibly can to get us there. From the moment I got drafted, this football club has been amazing for me and my family. That includes our members and supporters. I am so grateful for how they've embraced me from day one. I've never taken for granted what it means to pull on that navy blue Guernsey. It represents so much to so many people. We have a real focus to make Carlton people proud, earn respect back for this football club and everyone we represent. And I am very excited to be a part of that, not only this season, but for years to come." It's all in the language. It's all in the language. What's important? Earning back respect for the football club, acknowledging that we lost respect, and then also talking about earning it, and talking about everyone that, they represent. And for me, I just got really excited and really bullish, and just a layer of enthusiasm came over me when I read the statements and I watched the reaction, and we just don't have to worry about it for the season. It literally is all about the football now. There's no distractions for any of our, star players potentially leaving. And, I think whenever there is a signing like this, and not all of them are going to happen like they did with Walsh, the longer it goes on, the more the rumours start. Big Footy gets a run, Twitter gets a run, the mainstream journos get a run. Literally, it's been eliminated. And I think it's important because the group can now just purely focus on what, the task at hand is, which is earning back respect for the football club and everyone we represent. So I'm really enthused. The thing about Walshy, we've spoken about it a few times, is that because of his age, like he's 21, he's so young. Because of his age, it allows a youngster coming through to really resonate with someone who's not that much older than them. And I look at a guy like a Jack Carroll, for example, or a Corey Durden or a Brody Kemp. And all of a sudden you look over your shoulder and it's like, well, Sam Walsh is only a couple of years older than these guys. I would wonder if that gives them some extra belief on what's possible, getting a debut game early and really impacting the club early. And I just think we need to be very grateful for what we do have with Sam Walsh up until this point. I think the other notion of whenever these contracts come up, these big ones, I would assume it's a fairly significant contract. I would hope that he is, one of our top earners at the club because he's earned it. I always wonder what the motivation levels are like afterwards. Walsh doesn't strike me as someone who's motivated by earning as much as he can in his football career. He literally strikes me as someone that loves football so much and genuinely wants to be the best footballer he can be. And then with that comes the rest, the accolades, the marketing deals, and the big salary. So I would just hope that now that this has been done, that same focus that he's always had remains, being the best player he can be, being the best leader he can be. And to be honest, I have faith that that's the case because of the way he carries himself. He's, our best player, if not one of our best players and most important players, but it's all very much done in a low-key manner. Even the way that the announcement happened, I don't know if anybody else out there knew it was coming, but it just surprised me, and it's good. There was no need for extra hoo-ha or whatever the case may be because there's a job at hand. So I'm excited. I love that there's a buy-in now. In the space of 12 to 18 months, we've locked away Wiedering, Harry Mackay, even though it is until 2023, Walsh, Cripps. We've locked away these important pillars to the club. So I'm bullish. I sense a buy-in, and I want to refer back to Rocco. I hope he doesn't mind me revealing this, but when I spoke to Rocco, the first thing he said was, that's real leadership. He's excited, and he said that Walsh reminds him of the best leader we've had since Sticks Kernahan. Now, I can't comment on that, but that gave me excitement to hear that coming from Rocco. So for those of you who did watch Sticks, are there any similarities here between young Sam Walsh and Steve Kernahan in the leadership department? Obviously, totally different players, but I think to hear something like that from someone like Rocco got me up and about as well. So this video is dedicated to the Kool-Aid because I'm going to start drinking it. I'm not going to get too excited because there's a job at hand, but it's a good sign, and I'm really buoyed by what I've seen today. So we're less than 40 days away from round one. It's really starting to ramp up. What do you think? What was your reaction to the Sam Walsh news today? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if it means anything to you or if it doesn't mean anything to you and it's just another day and it's just another announcement. We'll chat about it in the comments and go from there. Go the Mighty Blues.